JOVA. The JOVA Podcast.
There will always be that thing which, by reason of societal perceptions, everyone at some point in time in their lives will go back to appreciating the purest form of sound, which is the voice. And that's the first thing that resonates lyrically and most of all emotionally, and tends to be talked about longer and for centuries and for millennia than when you'd get an instrumental track.
Okay, let's go. You finish it.
That people can forget in about 200-300 years. You know, commercial music, instrumental music, can have a once-off impact, serves its purpose there and then, at that particular time. But come 10, 15, 20 years, one has to struggle to remember what they experienced from that once-off event. There is no longevity. It emotionally connects there and then at that particular time, and it immediately inflames the emotions, making it relevant for that particular moment in time, which when done, it's a past event. There is nothing in that particular setup that constitutes legacy that can be carried over into the next generation to come, which over time could also be imprinted in the genealogy of certain societal functions, in as far as the appreciation of a cappella vocal music is concerned. You know, so to zero in on that trajectory, we then are saying, in as much as societal perceptions may deem a cappella infamous in as far as its commercial nature is concerned, it does not nullify its long time presence in musicality, past, present, and future. Many genres have come and gone, but a cappella has stood the test of time. It does not matter to which audience you appeal to at that particular time, but given a full year of 200 concerts, 5 to 10 of those concerts will be a cappella. But the concerts that tend to be talked about for centuries to come are the a cappella shows, because they've had the most resonant impact emotionally to the people, because that's what people relate to. That's what strikes them the most and gets people to think, gets people to appreciate, gets people to evaluate, and gets people to look forward to, and gets people to retrospect and stuff. It's got a ripple effect. It's a long-term effect compared to what inflames your passions there and then, only to be forgotten 10 months later. So a cappella, in that regard, must never be looked down upon, for this one reason. We still talk about it. We still sing it. It's part of everybody's passion for those who are gifted in it. And it's always received warmly by those who look forward to authenticity. A cappella is a representation of that.
Phew. That's a mouthful. And I think also the dope thing about that is, with a cappella, what people mustn't forget is that a cappella can fit into every genre. So I think more than looking at it as a genre in its sense, it's for me more like it's something that is practiced, right? And you can practice it in different shapes and forms in different ways, where you can practice a cappella in a jazz,
right?
In a jazz-centered way. You can practice it in a traditional sense, also traditional, also varies to what kind of tradition, what kind of sound is, resonates with that kind of vibe in an a cappella form. You can do pop. Now we're seeing with the age of pop and hip hop being the popular sound. Because all these people, what people also don't think about is that at some point jazz was the pop of the time. At some point classical was the pop of the time. Right now, hip hop or pop is now the thing, but also pop within itself also, it just evolves in different ways, because pop of the 70s could have sounds a whole lot more different than pop of today. But the thing with acapella is that it moves within that, because whatever sound, most of the producers actually when you watch these videos, that when they're producing stuff, most of the sounds that they come up with or the ideas they come up with all come from the voice.
Of course.
They'll just be,
Michael Jackson is a good example. The popular video that's going around of him going, with his percussion. That's his voice.
Yeah.
And then they show you what that ended up becoming
Yeah.
in the actual record.
Sure.
Yeah. And that was just his voice, a cappella.
Yeah. This other guy, Timberland, the producer as well, where he actually
He uses his voice.
Yeah, he beatboxes on the beats, and these are like topping pop tracks, and just how it's easy to downplay the significance of a cappella in that sense, and how much it's actually contributed into the music that we listen to on an everyday basis.
And while you are on that thread, when we segment evolution of music and its creativity, right? Where it's actually stemming from. The voice can be viewed as an instigatory phase of where music can start being conceptualized. That's a subsection on its own. We can then create another subsection to say the voice can then be showcased on its own in a purely vocal setup, which has nothing to do with instrumental adulteration, which tends to showcase what the voice really is and what it means to the listener. Not only to be viewed as a source of beginning to make instrumental music, though that's very important.
Okay.
We cannot take that away, because that's how ideas come about.
Yeah.
In any case, and you've rightfully put it, if I hear a tune now, you see what I just said? If I hear a tune now, the next thing you will do is go to an instrument and start checking.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing, then you go to a point of reference to try and feed into yourself what you think you need to hear. The fact that you have to go to a reference is because you hear something from here. And when you then are that person who's classified as having the gift of articulating your voice in a musical fashion, thereby being deemed a musician, you then bring your ideas by reason of audibility. You start saying, and they'll be like, okay, how do I play that in instrument? It's the trajectory that you can assume in involving the voice as a point of creativity, so that at the end of the day, it does not matter who grasps what context, when and how after that, but the starting point was your relationship with your voice that led to what eventually came out, and what shape and size that sound will eventually assume. But it all starts from the what? The voice. So what are we then saying? The voice is the ultimate instrument, and putting it loosely, whether we like it or not, that's where we are. The voice is the ultimate
It
instrument.
is the ultimate instrument. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grab your notepads, call your friends.
School is in.
School is in session. Today we have a very special guest. Today is a very, very, very special episode. It's our first sit down with someone who we consider, who's not only, number one, a friend of the podcast, a fan of the podcast, but is an inspiration and is an all-round legend in our eyes, man. My name is Nkosi Hospice. Behind the camera today, Brian
Lipia off the
Come
camera
on.
right now. Off the camera.
Of the camera. And with us, our special guest today, ladies and gentlemen, I can't find enough adjectives to describe him because above music, his English level. His English level is another level. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Mr. Vuyo Tshuma. Come on.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm very humble. I'm truly humble. Thank you.
Wow.
It's an honor to be here. It's a long time coming. It's a long time coming. I'm almost out of words, actually. I can only say thank you guys for having me and for affording me this opportunity to share with the world what's always been in me, you know. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I love that. Share with the world.
Yes.
Because the JOVA podcast, we're going worldwide.
We're going
That's
worldwide.
That's what
We're
it
going
is.
worldwide. Welcome to the JOVA podcast.
That is what it is.
We're excited. Today is a very special episode. So I don't know how many parts we're going to break this into, but I'm sure you guys are going to have a great time, and we're not going to hold back. We're going to talk about all things, everything, music, vocal technique, music business, history.
We've got some scandals
Hey,
coming
I'm telling you.
up. Stay tuned.
We've got everything on the menu today, and I'm excited that this is finally happening. You know, it's been for me a long time dream for us to actually sit down and have conversations about what we do. You know, and when obviously first of all I started doing the stuff by myself, but when we joined forces with Brian and just seeing that take shape and take flight, you know, is amazing. Thank you for everyone who's subscribed to the channel, who's following us on the socials. It means a lot to us. All the comments, the likes, the shares, they mean a lot to us. Please keep supporting us. Even this video right now, if you like it, actually, we've got a giveaway. Rather just get that out the way. We've got a giveaway today. It's a really beautiful road t-shirt that you guys can win. All you got to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, like this video, like all our videos, go onto our social media, like all that content.
Tag 5 friends.
Tag 5 friends. If you tag 5 friends on any one of our posts or on the video down below, you stand a chance to win a Road t-shirt. Shout out to Road. These are our friends. They're also friends of the podcast. Yeah. And if you want to purchase any of this equipment, hit us up.
Let us know.
Hit us up.
And we'll connect you.
We'll
We are the connections to great things.
To great things, like we're about to connect you to the great Vuyo Tshuma right now. I think this is quite for me interesting because nothing of the sort, especially of the people that I would have loved to have heard some insight of, has ever been done before. And I think it's one of the things that for me was a big motivation to one of the big things we need to do on this podcast is get all the people that we've always wanted to hear talk about certain things. Talk. And thank you for availing yourself. Thank you for honoring our first. You don't even know. You don't know these guys. What are they going to come ask me there? Are they reputable? And you've jumped on, and we appreciate you for that. I think for me, there's so much to talk about, but the best place is always to start from the beginning. So let's start with where this passion is ignited for vocal music specifically.
Good question. And I'd like to take this time once again to thank you for having me, and thank you also for this platform, which allows people to be themselves, to bring out the best of who they really are, and to share with the world what resonates within us. So, back to the question.
Yes, sir.
I was born in a family of musicians. My father became one of the most established musical directors and choir directors way back in his day. He's commonly known as Mr. T. Tshuma, you know. So I got to inherit everything about him, his character, his abilities, and I got to inherit my mother's looks.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, my outer shell belongs to my mother.
Okay.
My inner self comes from my dad.
All right.
Including the music.
Okay.
So history has it that when I got to the age of 3, I would hear music, and oh, by the way, I grew up in an environment where King's Heralds used to play all the time.
Yes.
You know, and every time. I remember I have vivid memories where I'll literally walk over to the cabinet that housed all the musical vinyls that were there. You know, the larger percentage of what was stocked in that cabinet was predominantly King's Heralds.
Okay.
And I remember some of the colors were lime covers, brown. I remember pretty much outrageous colors for vinyl albums, you know, and stuff. But I would ensure that I would listen to all of them. Okay. and I got to get exposed to that music for most of the time. And funny enough, when I would listen to it, I would regurgitate exactly what I would hear.
Okay.
At that particular time. And then, you know, when you are small, you get to witness and experience things only, in a way, only a child can, you know, assimilate the environment around. And I would remember at that time, my father would have a quartet that would rehearse at the house at that time. And, you know, they would struggle with certain vocal arrangements. You know, and they'll want to hear what note is that, what word is that, you know, and then, unbeknown to me, to use a colloquial term, I would be playing outside, playing football under the tower light, you know, and fresh from bathing with Vaseline all over me. Now, literally go back to the dirt and get dirty again. And they would call me, Vuyo, can you listen to this song? And I'll be like, oh, great, you know. Yeah. Listen to the song. Yeah. And I'll literally, now, the way my parents would describe my listening process, I'll literally sit there, and anything that would strike me from the radio, you know, speaker, I'll literally take a deep breath, like I'm heaving a sigh of relief. Once something hits me from the speaker, I'll take a deep breath and heave a sigh of relief. That was my moment of inspiration, you know, like somebody doing yoga, you know?
Okay.
And then after that, they'll be like, no, don't pressure him. He's a kid, concentration span is low. Let him go play, play. when he starts singing the parts when he's playing, call him back.
Okay.
So I would go play, go play with my peers, and before long, I'm singing the parts. Hey, Vu, come. The part that you just sang, can you repeat that? And I'll be like, oh, okay. And I'll repeat it, and in key, by the way. In key, without any distortion whatsoever. And that's how they would get to learn their arrangements through me. So if I would hear first tenor, second tenor, baritone bass, I would see the other parts, like the upper parts, and if I'm supposed to sing the bass, I'll literally be seen struggling with hitting the low ranges.
yeah.
And if I fail to do that, I simply sing the same notes, but three alternatives higher.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, what phenomenon is this? What is this? That was at the tender age of 3. So
3?
Yeah, I was 3. Yeah, I was 3.
What?
Yeah, I was 3. So, and I remember vividly those moments. So, and then I began to grow. 4 years, 5 years. I remember my dad bought me a marimba band, a marimba instrument. Right, I used to hear some sound in my head, and I'll literally grab 2 sticks and start playing, 2 sets of notes,
Yeah.
in that particular sequence.
What?
At that particular time. So I would enjoy the interaction there, and I remember they had a pitch pipe, which I would play with at any point in time. It had six notes.
Yeah.
I remember that pitch pipe. It had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pipes,
Okay.
and it would have your C sharp, D, and stuff.
Okay.
I saw something fascinating.
Okay.
So I would just play with it, and those keys stuck in my head. Those keys stuck in my head. Then I remember that even after 2, 3, 4 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, I'll still remember those sounds.
Sure.
And when I became of age, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12 years, I began to direct the primary school choir. At that particular time, I would hear them sing wrong notes.
Okay.
And I would correct them.
Yeah.
And some teachers at that time would be like, this kid.
Yeah.
It's all over the place, man. Okay. Do your thing.
Yeah.
And I would do my thing, and the results would be very fruitful, and not only fruitful, but delicious, much to my satisfaction, happiness, and joy.
Of course, yeah.
At that particular time. Now, that particular legacy of experimenting with music and singing, I got to get influences along the way. Because I remember even at home, I used to listen to radio a lot because there were these jingles.
Okay.
These jingles.
Yes.
I remember listening to one. That legacy followed me into high school,
Okay.
where now my mind began to broaden. And I began to hear things I never thought I would hear.
Yeah.
Earlier on, I had stated that I began to hear jingles on the radio,
Yes.
Good morning, in 6 parts. I'm like, what is this?
Sure.
I never got to ask fervent questions.
Okay.
But it fascinated me to a point where I'm like, you know what, I'm absorbing this,
All right.
So for that reason, there was no idle day. I would wake up every day, listen to the radio, looking out for jingles.
Oh, okay.
And when they would appear, I'd be like, wow. So that legacy followed me all the way through high school, where I began to conduct certain choirs, including the inter-schools choir at that time, which happened to sing most of the music that my father used to conduct. So when they would sing wrong notes, I'd be like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Because you know the music so
I
much.
know the music, I'd be like, this guy again. Okay, fine. Do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And I would conduct and experience great rewards thereafter, because everything would come right the way I knew it to be.
Yeah.
So fast forward over the years, I then became of age, and then I realized that no, man, I've got this thing called perfect pitch.
Okay.
Perfect pitch is where one can identify a key and reproduce it
Yeah.
without a musical reference or an external reference. I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm pretty sure that you've got a pitch pipe on your phone. You do, right?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah, just under the thing that you can
I
plug it up.
all right. There we go.
Well, I was ready for this. I was going to ask you to do it even if you were going to forget. I was going to say, okay, guess.
We are going to
We're going to play a game.
I'm gonna play a game.
Guess the key.
Well,
Guess the key.
With all humility, I will then say, let the games begin.
Oh, okay. So we're going to try this out. We're going to give him 5 tones. I'm going to press 5 different tones here. And we'll see if he gets it right. All right.
Here we go.
Let's start with the first one.
Okay. That's your D.
We're just getting started, bro.
You know what?
I was expecting at least the first one.
It's a beautiful key.
Okay. Let's try go a bit further from that one. Let's try go a bit further from there.
Okay. That's your A.
Oh my goodness.
Without even delay, like one can trick this. You can like practice being quick, right?
Yeah.
Moving from the note that you got the first one right.
Yeah.
And try like in
move
your mind
quickly.
sing the scale quickly to the next one, but not that quick.
Not that quick.
You're never gonna be that quick.
As I'm playing it.
That's F sharp.
Oh no. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
These are glorious keys.
Oh.
So let's play the same game in reverse. Right? I'm gonna be singing.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, this is a good way to actually test this.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna sing it without.
He's gonna sing it and say what note it is, and you
then
will
we'll check.
confirm it on your pitch pipe.
Part 2 of the game. So he's gonna sing it. He's gonna sing the tone and he's gonna tell us what it is, and then we're gonna confirm. All right.
All right.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
So you might want to tell me which key to sing,
Okay.
and then I'll just sing the key, and then you
Okay, let's try a C sharp.
a C sharp.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our glorious C sharp,
What?
Breathe on me, breath of God.
Let's say B flat.
Oh, B flat.
Sing us a B flat. Sir.
Okay.
All right. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I love B flat. I love B flat. It's got a beautiful, color to it.
I remember a few years. It's always like years. Every time I'm remembering things like years ago.
You're old, bro.
I don't get it. Right? Anyway, I was at Brixton.
Yeah.
And obviously he knew me from, the first time we met at Berea Church. With my group. I think I told this story in one of our previous episodes where he taught us a little vocal thing, me and my group.
Yeah.
But then we met again at Brixton Church. And I was playing his Yamaha. That's your Yamaha. And he was doing the welcome song.
Yes.
And he's like, right, let's do the welcome song. It's in F. And he goes, this song is in F. I'm like, This is F, boom, and it was correct.
And that was always so legendary. Everyone who would go to Brixton would remember that. Even back in the day when we used to go there, that was one of the things we used to stand out.
You look forward to that, you know?
Yeah, there's that
man.
welcome song that we would teach
We would
everyone from
teach-
soprano to bass. And it's like, come on, everyone sing.
Oh, that's a piece I'll forever hold in my heart because it was composed on the spot,
Yeah.
right there in front of the audience,
Oh wow! The first time it was done, it was composed right there.
right there on the spot, and it has remained and stood the test of time since. And it was done in the beautiful key of F. And F, by the way, is this. Do. That's F. You might want to. You might want to check
We
that.
didn't check that. That is F, ladies and gentlemen. This is incredible.
You know, so not only do I identify keys in the way that you've just witnessed,
Yeah.
but I see chords as well that way. You know, I can see any chord, complex chord. It does not matter what shape or size the chord comes in.
Yeah.
I can literally sing a chord in actual pitch. It's a pity we don't have a keyboard right here. We will brand new.
Would actually just you give me each of the notes and I would check it.
We'll play them, yeah. But I could spell out some of the notes. So for those musicians, you know, those keyboard players who are out there, you might want to test out these notes.
Yeah, you can check it on your you can actually check it on your own. I'll
Yeah.
check this later.
Yeah.
As well.
Just
And give it to us, please.
You know, so I love E flat,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So that's E flat, right?
Okay. That's not
So
bad.
yeah, that's E flat. So we're gonna do this chord. It's called it starts from the low end, right? The bass clef. Do. That's E flat, B flat, F G, B flat, D, F G, B flat. So if you could arpeggio through that chord, you go.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it. I can hear it.
So if you want to do the 4
Yeah.
of that chord, it's gonna be A flat, which would be. I'll make it a little tense. It will go. Do, 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 do. So it's gonna be A flat, F sharp, A. No. That would B flat and then C and then F. So it's gonna be F C, B flat, F sharp, A flat. Can you see that tense chord?
In editing, actually, I'll just add the piano notes
play that,
so that
right?
people can
What is
actually hear.
playing?
Yeah, as is doing it because that is
I
wow.
can hear the chords though. I can hear them.
So in summary, it will be. You know, so I consider myself as one who plays piano faster here than here. So if ever I'm to play here,
Yeah.
it will be for people who understand this thing of chords visually
Yes.
to say exactly where they are placed.
Yeah.
And then they'll be able to make sense of, you know, what.
So is that how you look at your arranging process? Like, do
That's
you
how. Yes.
work it all out in your head?
Primarily, exactly, because for me, when you say, "Can you compose a song on the spot?" I can do that, and I can already see 15 to 20, 100 different arrangements of what that song could have been in a split second. So, for example, if I say in the key of F, "Praise God from whom all blessings flow," right? Anybody would come in with a bass and say, "Praise God from whom all blessings flow." Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But I can come with an alternative and say, "Praise God from whom all blessings flow." You know, and then there are all the corresponding notes that come in between there, which will sound crazy if I sing them individually because one will have to need a keyboard to check each note that I sing against the. But I hear the sound in my head audibly as you would hear music in your headphones. when you're playing back from an instrument. So I can literally drive on the road and close my eyes and create an entire playlist in my head and sing and hear it and enjoy it as if I've got music plugged in my ears.
That is wild, man.
But it's all
That is wild. That is wild.
in my head.
JOVA. The JOVA Podcast.